So, very good evening, everyone. Today, we will be discussing a very interesting topic that will be on diet diversification. And we have many senior dietitian. Thank you, Swatidi from Apollo. Thank you for joining. So, we have many senior dietitians also today have joined. Many college students have joined. This is basically for the students, not for the seniors. So, we have to do something for the society. Everybody is doing some job. We are engaged in some companies, we are engaged in some hospitals, some of you are academicians, but at the end of the day we have some responsibilities that we have to do something for the society, because the society is still least aware about the nutrition, and we cannot held responsible anyone, neither doctors, neither patient, because whenever it comes about the diet, the patient choose their diet on their own. Whenever it comes about hyperuricemia, the patient stops eating each and every kind of seeds. Whenever it comes about the diabetes, the patient stops eating the sugar and the underground vegetables and rice, but eating everything, junk food, fast food, shingara, kochuri. There is no restrictions. So diet is being very much compromised, and in our plate, we are not getting balanced diet. And in the first phase of COVID, we find many people are a little bit conscious about this balanced diet, or you will agree about different types of karas, antioxidant drinks. But gradually, again, it is now stopped. And you can agree, those who are in the corporate sectors or the corporate hospitals, that post-COVID complications are very high. So this is another factor. So today, our topic is diet diversifications. So diet diversification is an important thing, and we have to give some key message to the society that how to deal with this kind of problems. Because if we are not taking balanced diet, at the end of the day, there is a chance of chronic diseases. And in this scenario, only a dietitian can help a person. So I would like to request Lisa to share the screen and let the ball rolling. So I will want to introduce and will request that particular participants to say hi and switch on your video. So we have with us Lisa. Lisa has just completed her master's, and she has also completed her internship from AMRI Mukundapur, and she is now working in a corporate sectors as a like weight reduction dietitians, or and we can also say that for a lifestyle modification she is working. So she will be discussing on the diet diversification introduction. Next we have Pritha Bose from Ranchi. Pritha will be discussing on the current scenario and the hidden hunger. So it will be a very important discussion about the hidden hunger, because we need to know what is hidden hunger and how to get rid of it. Next, we have Poulomi Ghosh. Poulomi Ghosh will be actually highlighting. Poulomi is also a nutritionist. She is doing her master's. She has completed her graduation. I think you both, Pritha, have completed from Gokhale Memorial. And these are all our students from Cognized Nutrition, which we are doing that 6 months course, and now we become a very good family. So each and everything we used to share with each other regarding the nutrition, regarding different kinds of our personal issues and everything. So Poulomi will be describing about the lack of knowledge in the different socioeconomic group. So you can understand in the different socioeconomic group, the high class society, the people do not eat properly. People are inclined about the junk food. They do not have the knowledge of balanced food. They are taking more of simple carbohydrate and more of fat. While as you see in the slum areas or the low socioeconomic populations, if you see that people are least aware, they have the options of green vegetables. They have at their homes, they rear some like animals like cow. They have milk, they have eggs, but they are not aware of the things. They are selling these products and they are taking only the carbohydrate consumption is high. Shuparna's topic will be another interesting topic. We will came to know many government project in India. Government has done a very beautiful job, but still people, that is one of the example is ICDS or Anganwadi, but people do not have that knowledge that why they are going there. So Shupana is also a practicing dietitian. She has completed her master's as well as deep diet. She has worked as a bariatric nutritionist under very renowned Dr. Sarfaraz Bey. She is now associated with a corporate company as a diabetes educator and dietitian. Next, we are coming to the last topic of our discussion, that is how to make the diet or the recipes interesting. If you are telling a obese person to take 2 chapatis, and if you are telling the plate full of salads, or if you are taking to take oats in the breakfast, so that one day the diet becomes very monotonous. Maybe you are suggesting healthy diets, but it is becoming very monotonous. So Pooja Dinda is with us today. Pooja is also a nutritionist, and she is very like active, and she is known to me for a long back. So when I start the course, so Pooja used to ring me and said that, sir, I am very much interested about your course because I personally know you. So one of the students whom I personally know before this course, that is Pooja. So Pooja will be discussing the nutritional recipes. So let's share the screen, and I welcome you all. And the interactive session will be at the end. Thank you all. So welcome, Lisa. For the first part, you have to need to unmute yourself.
Good evening, everyone. This is me, Lisa. So today we shall be discussing about the diet diversification. So what is the diversification means? Mostly it's adding the variety. Now what is diet diversification then? Adding the variety in our plate. Okay. Now, what is the thing is, like, we Indians are mostly deals with, Indians mostly take cereal based food. We don't even take food which is more nutritious, like, fruits, vegetables. We do take, but we don't know the correct proportion. This may lead to the micronutrient deficiency. So this is an intervention program. Now, what is the like motto of this presentation is just to aware people that the diet diversification is important. We need to add several food from several food groups. We nutrition people, like those who are the students of nutrition, we are the dietitians and nutritionists, know what are the food groups, and it is important to add almost every food from every food groups. Then only it will be easy for us to prevent this micronutrient deficiency. In the further slides, my co-members are going to tell you what are the micronutrient deficiencies and how it can be prevented. So, like the target group of this micronutrient deficiency or the other deficiency diseases are not the socioeconomic group. This happens with the urban area as well as the rural area. So those who are the high economic group, they are also suffering from, and the low economic groups are also suffering from. So the target groups are everybody. So the main perspective is, like, we need to aware first ourselves, then we can go for others. Okay, and one more thing I would like to add over here is, like, once you are arranging your plate, it should be colorful enough. Okay, and the thing is, like, just to get a colorful plate which is full of nutrients, you just don't need to go to the supermarket, buy expensive foods. It's something which is already available in your kitchen. So what you have to do is you have to go and search it for. Okay, now the main objective is what I have said, the micronutrient deficiency prevention. Okay, now can I get the next slide, please? Okay, now why this diversification is important? Why it is important? So, as I told you, that in our plate, all the food groups, the food from food groups should be there, including the animal foods. As you know, I think the animal food is important. Once the mostly deficiency diseases, what we can observe is, like, the vegetarian people mostly, like, we can observe the vegetarian people have this mostly deficiency diseases rather than the non-vegetarian. So the animal protein or the animal food is important. Now, different foods contain macro and micronutrients, but the proportion is important. all the foods that we consume contain macro as well as micro. The macro contain carbohydrate, protein, fat, whereas the micro are vitamins, minerals, and all, right? But the proportion is different in case of different food. In the next point, as you can see, I have already discussed about the DASH diet, vegetarian diet. The DASH diet is a salt restricted diet. Mostly we give this to the hypertensive patient, right? So what we can do is we can restrict the salt, but we can add several fruits, several colorful vegetables. Then we can go for fiber rich, right? Then also in case of Mediterranean diet, they do mostly deals with antioxidants. So the berries contain good amount of antioxidants. So we can add berries, which is easily available. Definitely not the berries which is like go for very expensive. You have to go to the market. Berries, jam. So jam is also a berry, right? And it's a good, like very nutritious. We can add that also. Then we can go for seeds. We can go for nuts, almonds, walnuts. We can go for that also. So the healthier diet should be including all the things like fruits, vegetables, legumes, then go for animal food. Okay, the animal food means, white meat, lean meat. Then we can add the milk and milk products also. So this is the basic importance for the diversification. Now I would like Preetha to discuss more about this diet diversification. So over to you, Preetha.
Thank you so much, Lisa Di, for wonderfully explaining what diet diversification actually is. Now I would like to grab the opportunity to explain to you why diet diversification is important by showing you the current scenario of India so that you can decide for yourself that why diet diversification is important. Starting with the second goal of sustainable development, which aims at ending all forms of malnutrition and achieving zero hunger by 2030. The second is malnutrition, lack of sufficient nutrients, as we all know, and malnutrition is expressed mainly in two forms. One is undernutrition, and regarding the undernutrition scenario, you can see that India has ranked 94 out of 107 countries in Global Hunger Index 2020. Next is overnutrition, and we all know that it is also as much prevalent as undernutrition. So 75% of type 2 diabetes patients are obese, and diabetes cases has doubled from 2000 to 2017. And after China, India is the second diabetes capital. Now the question is, if undernutrition and overnutrition is addressed, so do we achieve the goal of sustainable development by 2030 or no? Not. So here where the hidden hunger comes into action, and hidden hunger hinders in achieving the SDG goal by 2030. Now, what is hidden hunger? We will go to that. Before that, I like to grab your attention and show you the Global Hunger Index 2020 graph. This is the map of India, and the color is deep blue. That is the alarming index color, which tells you the score of 35 to 49.9 out of 100-point severity scale, where 0 is the best score and 100 is the worst. So you can see that how alarming the situation of hunger in India is. Next, we go to the hidden hunger. What is it? Hidden hunger is referred to micronutrient deficiency in broad words. Next, the symptoms of deficiency starts to show after the condition gets serious, hence the term hidden. When the micronutrient deficiency occurs, the symptoms are not visible. So the person is not knowing that he or she is affected by hidden hunger. When the situation gets serious, then the symptoms start to show up, but it is too late. Then it does not produce hunger as we know it. You might not feel it in the belly, but it strikes at the core of your health and vitality. 2 billion people suffer from iron and zinc deficiency. 1 out of every 3 people have been suffering from hidden hunger. How does it occur? What are the main causes? One being poor diet. We know that we, as being Indians, we consume carbohydrate or cereals as the staple, which obviously gives us enough calories, but it lacks micronutrients. And so hidden hunger is very prevalent in India. Second, poverty. It hinders people from getting quality nutrition. Next is nutrient loss during processing. Processing of rice, we all know that it makes it the processing or polishing of rice makes it lose vitamin B. Lack of knowledge about what to eat, what not to eat, how much to consume, a lot of things regarding that. And infection and malabsorption go hand in hand. Here I have shown the vicious cycle of undernutrition and infectious diseases. Undernutrition decreases the immunity, which increases the risk of diseases. And infectious disease, obviously when a person is ill, the appetite decreases, the nutrition absorption decreases, and due to the disease, in order to cope up, in order to get well, the energy needs increase. But due to the appetite is low, the person won't eat, and the undernutrition prevails, and this vicious cycle continues. Next, what are the consequences of hidden hunger? Here I have shown a percentage of population with selected micronutrient deficiencies, where vitamin A deficiency is in children below 5 years of age, iron deficiency in preschool age children, and iron deficiency in the population, in general population, is shown. Coming to this pictorial representation of consequences. A low birth weight baby grows to be a stunted or wasted child with poor growth. That child grows up to be a fatigued adolescent, increased vulnerability to infection. If it is a female adult, then that continues to become a pregnant woman with increased mortality and increased prenatal complications. And then this malnutrition scenario continues through the lives. And if that is a male, there is reduced productivity, poor socioeconomic status, malnutrition, increased risk of diseases, and then there is more complications in the elderly ages. Now, how to combat hidden hunger? Diet diversification being the first. Diversify your food choices. Combine the correct amount of food with correct food groups. Include locally available fruits and vegetables in your plate. Consume colorful diet to stay healthy. Next, as nutritionists and dietitians, we should always encourage kitchen gardening for high economic status and for low economic status both. For high economic status, we can suggest them for vegetables like tomatoes, etc. For low economic status, we can suggest them for something called Badir Bagan. We can inculcate that in them. Next, coming to fortifying and enriching food items. We all know that what is fortifying and what is enriching. Now, if the lost nutrients are added to it through fortifying or enriching processes, and we consume the fortified and enriched food, then automatically the micronutrient losses are compensated. For example, we all know the example of iodized salt, and we have seen excellent result and excellent eradication of goiter through iodized salt. So, and nowadays vegetable oils are also fortified with vitamin A and D and E, all the fat soluble vitamins. So at the inculcating fortified foods in your daily diet is an excellent step. Next is a stronger implementation of supplementation programs like ICDS, midday meal programs. If these programs are monitored and seen to that the distribution is happening properly, then the problems will reduce gradually with time with a higher rate. And last but not the least, nutrition education and to the general public about what to consume, what not to consume, and what are the right choices what are the good steps that they can take to stay healthy, not going around any Google article, not going around any myths. You should suggest people to take the help of experts who know, who have studied this subject, will give you right guidance. With this, I would like to conclude my part and hand over the presentation to Paulomi. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Preetha. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Preetha, for giving a brief idea about the hidden hunger. So now I am here to talk about the lack of awareness in both the groups, that is your low income group as well as your high income group. As you can see, the first point that appears in front of your screen, that is discrimination in families. It's a common scenario we often see in many households where a boy child is given the priority than a girl child. For example, a large portion of the food or a big piece of fish is obviously given to a boy child rather than a girl child in the same household. Secondly, in many households, the woman of the house gets the least attention. For example, that women in the village skip their breakfast or they take tea with chapati or a biscuit in her breakfast until her lunchtime. Even not only this, in many cases, we see pregnant women are restricted to eat certain foods due to social taboos and all such cultural taboos that happens in their households. Now, I have a question for all of you here. Just say how many of you or your mothers intake regularly or in a daily basis certain amount of fruits. You can comment in the comment section by yes or no. Okay. So here we have an answer that is yes, it's a good thing. Okay, no issues. So we can say that you people are taking, but there's a maximum group of people who hardly take any fruits in their regular diet, or during their fasting only, they're going to intake fruits in their diet. Now, Preetha, let's come to the next point. Okay, family food insecurity. Family food insecurity means that not providing enough food for a healthy life for all their household members. Budget seems to be the biggest problem in this type of groups. So either they sell their crops, whatever they are growing in their fields. So my suggestion here is try to inculcate some of it in their own diet in order to improve their lifestyle. Please, Preetha, show the third point. Okay, inadequate care of the household members. Here, the household members, especially the mothers, does not give enough attention to their children. For example, they most of the time give a calorie dense or a high carbohydrate diet consisting of rice, roti with aloo sheddo or aloo bhaja for their lunch. Even those children munch on a packet of chips, cookies, or biscuits or maybe Maggie for their snacks, which is not a correct option for the growth of that particular child. Please, the next slide. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the lack of awareness in the high income group too. First of all, depending on the junk food, processed foods, and the refined foods, as there is a tendency of those section of the people going for an instant food, which means some of these children are can't able to go for playing in the playgrounds due to this COVID time. And we see here that these children are going for the online based fast delivery food from Swiggy, Zomato or Uber Eats and so on. As you can see, here is a cartoon diagram which is shown the one woman who is saying pizza, cola, burger, candy, the kids speak out when we go for shopping. And another man which saying seeing the children with her that they shall look malnourished because here malnourished refers to the market-based, mall-based products what that lady is giving to her own children. The second point, please. Okay, ignorance of parents and caregivers. Just now I told Here in this group, high income group, mostly the parents are working parents. They don't have enough time to look after their children. So we see this type of children suffer from many eating disorders, which have the certain symptoms of excessive eating or binge eating, or at all no eating in the whole day. Or maybe they have certain symptoms of purging behaviors like vomiting or excessive workouts during their eating patterns. We see a very much irregularity. Okay, the third point, please. Now, the third point, that is your stress, anxiety, and a sedentary lifestyle. These are the main causes for the major diseases, whatever the people are suffering for the high income group. Even in stress, the people who are suffering from stress, we see they have a tendency to go for binge eating or eating too much. Now, that you are a student, you're student, so please be aware of these facts and try to choose the correct thing for your own health. That's all from my side, and the next portion will be explained by my teammate Shupana Monod. Thank you.
Thank you, Polomi. Thank you very much for describing the lack of awareness portion so well. She has already described what wrong could be done uh, by the lack of awareness and lack of education, particularly nutritional education, in our daily life. To eradicate the problems, we should spread, as a student, as a dietitian, or as nutritionist, it is our duty to spread the knowledge about health and nutritional education throughout the community. Here comes the role of different food groups in our diet diversification. Thank you. Foods from different food groups contains various nutrients, contains various different nutrients, not only the macronutrients but also micronutrient contents of different foods are different. While we combine foods from different food groups, it also increases the bioavailability of such micronutrients. For example, we can take that sprouts are good sources of iron, which is bioavailable, but it is well absorbed when we take when we take the sprouts with fresh cut lemon juice, which contains lots of vitamin C. Thus we can see that the combination of different foods, here we can see the pulse products, which is sprout, and lemon is from fruit group. So combining these two increases the bioavailable form of iron in our body. The main motto of diet diversification is to fulfill the requirements of micronutrients in our daily life and help us to attain the peak of our health. So we should include all the food groups from different food groups in our daily life. Next slide, please. Here we will suggest some tips for low socioeconomic groups as well as high socioeconomic groups. Foods for low socioeconomic groups, the people can choose low cost, locally available and seasonal foods like seasonal fruits they can avail in low cost, and the foods like cabbage or broccoli, whatever is grown in their locality, it is low cost and it's available in their market, and they can also go for their own field cultivation, and they can use some of their productions in their own household and rest should be sold in the market to attain some money. We can suggest them going for some kitchen gardening, which already has been described by Pritha. So we can suggest them for combination of foods like combine cereal products with pulse products to attain all the amino acids, essential amino acids. So in this way, they can use all the nutrients in the foods. And for high socioeconomic groups, we mainly need to educate them to choose the right portion and to choose the right foods, like they should choose the fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, and they should cook in their home, not to go for the ready-made or instant meals, or not to go for the mall meals, or like some burger, pizza, anything like that. So we should educate them to discard the junk foods or empty calories and to choose the fresh and colorful ones. Next slide, please. Now, when we know that there are various ways to increase our nutritional education in the community, we need to approach in a proper system. There are two ways. One is government approach, another one is non-government approach. Next slide, please. Yes, in government policies, we know that there are various policies government has already implemented in our society. Some are described here. Like first is ICDS, Integrated Child Development Scheme, where the nutrition is not only meant to be for the adult person. Here they focuses the health and nutritional education and supplementation for pregnant lactating mothers, adolescent girls, and some children below 5 years also. In midday meal program, the nutrition is focused primarily for the primary educational system, and they also encourages the basic education to the population. Public distribution system, or PDS, focuses the rationing system to provide the grains, mainly the cereals and cereal products, to the community. And targeted public distribution system, or TPDS, is focused basically for the low socioeconomic group or the people lying below the poverty level. There are various other projects like Annapurna Yojana and etc. to eradicate the malnutrition in our society. Next slide, please. Here comes the non-government approach. We can approach the society in two different ways. First is offline method and second one is online method. In offline method, we can go for some poster presentations and camps. We can do some educational plays, and we can arrange some plays to educate the people, and we can also make the community they can participate with us face to face in offline method. It is a positive point of offline method. And also we can do some nutrition camps, food stalls, etc. to make them aware and make them see how can we make a diet or how can we make our platter beautiful and nutritious. In online method, in nowadays online method is very popular. During the pandemic, we all were well aware of the webinars, which is online seminar kind of thing. So we can go for webinars to educate the people who understand the we can educate the students mainly so they can further distribute the knowledge in their family and their community. We can also participate in the poster presentation competitions. We can also publish some research papers, articles in reputed journals, and we can also do some television and radio programs to aware the people. And also we can make some YouTube videos or social blogging with some with important references and sources. So we can educate the people in this way also. So now I will sum up here and hand over the slides to Pooja for further discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Suparna, and all of my team members for explaining your part very nicely. Now, I am going to suggest some easy and full of micro and macronutrients recipes and how we can diversify our monotonous and unhealthy diet. Next slide, please. Now we can go ahead with the discussion from, please. Okay. Now we can go ahead with the discussion from our breakfast, where we should select some heavy ones like going for low cost diet. Also, we can suggest few healthy and locally available food items like chatu with onion, chili, little bit of lemon added to it, and one whole cucumber including in their diet. There are some all other delicious recipes too, which may include such as any kind of vegetables and make it omelette or dahi chira. For middle to high cost economy group, they can easily intake various type of vegetables with egg or chicken sandwich, oats khichdi, oats pancake, etc. In this way, we can eventually modify our breakfast and make it healthier than ever. Next slide, please. So we all know that fruits are full of micronutrients. So we try to add 1 or 2 fresh fruits in our daily diet and obviously avoid packaged and canned fruit juice. Next slide, please. So after that, we should take our lunch at a proper time. There are low cost diet which may include locally available food items in their lunchbox. It's necessary for every people to start with some amount of vegetables in their lunch. Earlier, it was said to eat vegetables with rice, but now it has to be said to eat rice with vegetables. Many options are there, such as leafy vegetables, green, orange vegetables. Rather than that, they can also go with pulses, which are very really a good source of protein and minerals. Middle to high cost diet ones can take over with different type of chicken recipes, fishes, and eggs. If it's possible to make curd at home too, then the lunch will be comprised with more nutritious values. For some corporate job holders, okay, next slide please. For some corporate job holders, we cannot suggest to cook so much food items to their busy schedules. So how we suggest them to easy way of cooking? Now we are going to suggest about one pot meal. What is one pot meal? One pot meal is basically a balanced proportion of all crucial and essential nutrients by easy combination, which is easy to make and can also quickly prepared, which is really a good option too. We can use any kind of vegetables with cereals which you like and further mix them well. Sometimes when people are at restaurant or want to choose some healthy ones, but they get confused what to choose or what not to. In this situation, I suggest them to go with grilled, poached, boiled, steamed items over the deep fried or crispy and crunchy ones. Further, they can choose lassi, buttermilk, raita over the cocktail, drinks, etc. Next slide, please. Okay. Many times we see college students or working people prefer to eat a variety of street foods like shingara, tele bhaja, peaji, which are very unhealthy. In our opinion, evening is the time when most of the people actually realize that they should consume it healthy, but also they want to enjoy every bit of it. Then they can go with some most famous Bengali snacks, muri, with some sprouted chola, moog, or nuts china badam, and squeezing a few amount of lemon juice, adding to it, and which is basically known as muri makha. It is really a healthy option for low to high economic groups, which is easily available too. For corporate job holders or 9 to 5 job workers or teenage people, school, college going students, we can suggest them to take their diet having some chicken or egg, paneer roll with veggies, chicken salad with full of various type of veggies, makhana, paneer salad, or some nuts with black tea. Next slide, please. After a long, hectic day, when you are so tired and don't want to spend time at kitchen, then you can go with a normal roti with sabji or vegetable stuffed paratha or chicken stew with wholesome vegetables. Try to avoid heavy meals at that time. Also, make sure you should take your dinner at least 1 to 2 hours before going to bed. In this way, you can make your day healthy and also unique. Obviously, last but not the least, exercise also very important to maintain our healthy life. Thank you everyone. Now I would like to invite our Honorable Sir to say some keynotes about diet diversification. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pooja, and thank you all for your very nice and enriching deliberation. And from each slide, there are some key messages. So I cannot say everything, but obviously, I think the audience had got the key message that how to go for the diet diversification, how to educate small things. What Pooja was saying, that when we are tired, when we are not in a mood of cooking, when we are, for example, in the street outside, the Pooja, what should we eat? And people, whenever they are in the street now, they go for the street foods, roll, kachuri, samosa. But there are also healthy options, like we sometimes call the South Indians or the Western, like dhokla, idli, bada. These types of food items are better than the North Indian cuisines like Mughlai, paratha, and all the oily stuffs. So I want to share a screen, like Suparna was discussing about the educational program. So Shupa, I want to show some of my educational programs which you can also do collaborating with me. So hope the screen is shared, Suparna.
Yes, sir.
So these are the high affluent class society where we can give these types of lectures where the people can listen about their health benefits and they can interact with you. So these are the few things which you can do going to different corporate offices like IBM, TCS, Reliance. Though these are the some school programs which I did more than 500 school programs in my career. So these programs actually educate the feeding difficulties in the kids, that how to cope up with the feeding difficulties of the children's. So this was a program in Shiliguri, and alongside we can do some of the programs for the like low socioeconomic groups. This is in Dietetics Day 2020. During the COVID also we did these programs in Rajarhat with IDA Bengal chapters. So these are the programs where you can, with these types of things, you can educate very easily the populations and what are the good things. See the food items or the tiffin items we have provided them. So it is til, that is til jo hota hai, sesame and gur. So and this one is so these types of educational programs are very important. These are the NGO programs where we can educate about the balanced diet, balanced nutrition, and how to cooking, and especially I believe that the utensils used, because most of the time nowadays we are using aluminum or plastics in our homes, and which are very dangerous or detrimental for our health. So if we can at least ask them to cook in the clay or in iron or maybe in brass items, and we can store the water even in the copper jugs, so it will be more healthy for all of us. So these kind of programs can be done very easily starting from your society. So now we are open for questions and suggestions also. So we have many dietitians, Ria, Shohini, Shobik, and many dietitians from outside also. So if you can suggest some of the things and which portion you like most, if you can unmute, so it will motivate us to do more programs with you all. Totally, it is an educational program for the society. Today we have, and all the credit goes to these 5 speakers, Suparna, Lisa, Preetha, Paulomi, Pooja. So thanks to them for arranging this, and I am only the guest here, that in the last moment I have joined, and whatever they have done without my help, and I like everybody to be to participate. So any questions?
But without your motivation, we couldn't have done anything.
I can only motivate, but you have some self-motivation things, na? So
yes, sir.
so I can.
But the
Yes,
opportunities,
sir,
you have
there.
made these opportunities, na? That's the
I
main
will
thing.
always make opportunities. You have to grab the opportunities. Thank you so much.
Sir.
Thank you so much,
Can
sir.
we have the questions? The first question. Thank you so much, Shobhik. You can ask your questions, and the speaker, you can switch on your video and you can give the answers. Yes, Shobhik.
Good evening, everyone. This is outstanding session. So I want this type of session. So
Thank you
my
so much.
question, yes, sir. So my question is to nutritionist Pooja Dinda.
Okay.
During cooking, various type of nutrients are losses. We know. So, but without cooking, we can't sustain.
Yes, we cannot eat because it is not like
it is
Western
not-
population that we can eat raw vegetables and this, because all having the pesticides and harmful chemicals. So we have to cook. Yes, Shobik, you are right.
So I want to know to Pooja Dinda, what is the percentage of we consume the raw food and the cooking food, and how to overcome it?
Pooja, you want to take or you want to repeat the question? I can repeat the question for you. Pooja, are you there? So Pooja actually has participated from outside. Pooja has some personal commitment. So I want to ask Suparna if you can just give the answer for in our Indian scenario. As per the bioavailability of the food, how much we can consume raw and how to cook, and about the flame, low flame, high flame. If you want to throw some light in this, Suparna.
Hello.
Yes, Pooja is back. Yes, Pooja.
Pooja is back. Yes.
Yes, sir. আমি কোশ্চেনটার অ্যান্সারটা বাংলাতেই দিচ্ছি।
Yes.
তো আমরা র ফুড আইটেমস এর ওইভাবে কোনো পার্সেন্টেজ আমি বলবো না, বাট আমি বলবো যে ওটাকে সবসময় একটা পোর্শনের মধ্যে নিয়ে, মানে আমরা যেরকম কড়াইতে নিয়ে ওটাকে ভালো করে ঢাকা দিয়ে লো ফ্লেমে আমরা ওটাকে কুক করব, যাতে যেসব মানে যেসব পেস্টিসাইড গুলো থাকে সেগুলোকে জাস্ট ডিস্ট্রয় করার জন্য ঢাকাটা দেব, কারণ যাতে ফুল মাইক্রোনিউট্রিয়েন্ট গুলো না ভেপোরেট হয়ে যায়, রিস্টোর থাকে।
So আমরা কোনো পার্সেন্টেজে যাব না সৌভিক, so we can just say like this that some vegetables we can consume raw, like cucumber, so you can wash it properly, you can have it. We do not eat with skin, we do not eat with skin, but we can consume cucumber with skin. But it is very dangerous to have apple with skin now, because it having the wax coating in the apple. So for the children or the elderly, so the very important thing, we are losing the very important nutrition which is in the skin. We are losing that nutrition. So many vegetables can be cooked in the low flame or the lid covered, as said by Pooja, and we should not discard the water, throughout the water. If you are cooking Loki, so water will be coming, and Shobik, we can use this water in dough making, that is chapati or any paratha, so that will be add some health or micronutrients will be added. But obviously what I am teaching in this like even the community populations, that first wash the vegetables properly. You can soak the vegetables in some lukewarm water or with soda and then cook it, but after cutting the vegetables, do not wash it, barbar kore wash korben na, and do not during cooking do not discard the water. So few message from your side to the society can help the society. Yes, Suparna, you can add some points to this. If you can switch on your video, because it will be good.
Sure, sir. Sir, আমি কিছু বলতে চাই, আমি বাংলায় বলছি। As per Shobhik's question, আমরা যদি র কিছু কনজিউম করতে চাই ইন ডেইলি বেসিস, সো আমার মনে হয় যে হাইজিনটা দেখে একটু মেনটেন করা উচিত। লাইক আমার তাহলে প্রপার কিচেন হাইজিন মেনটেন করতে হবে, এটা হচ্ছে মোস্ট অফ দ্য ইম্পর্টেন্ট থিং হিয়ার। যে আমি অবশ্যই যেটা বাজার থেকে আনছি সেই জিনিসগুলোকে ডিফারেন্ট জায়গায় স্টোর করব, সেটাকে যতক্ষণ না ক্লিন করছি বা ওয়াশ করছি প্রপারলি, আমি ততক্ষণ সেটাকে ফ্রিজে রাখবো না, বা আমার যেখান থেকে কনজিউম হচ্ছে সেই স্টোরে আমি নিয়ে যাবো না। দ্বিতীয়ত, আমাকে কাটলারি সেট এবং যে চপিং বোর্ড অর এনি কাইন্ড অফ থিং, সেটা মিট বা কোনো অ্যানিমাল প্রোডাক্ট র সামথিং কাটার জন্য আলাদা রাখতে হবে, এন্ড যখন আমি ভেজিটেবলস বা ফ্রুট কাট করছি সেটার জন্য ডিফারেন্ট রাখতে হবে। এটা হচ্ছে মেইন থিং। এবং কখনোই যেন ফ্রিজে বা অন্য কোথাও র মিট বা এনি কাইন্ড অফ অ্যানিমাল প্রোডাক্ট বা ডিম এই জাতীয় জিনিসের আশেপাশে যেন এমন কিছু আছে, যে ফ্রুটস আমি একটা শেলফে রেখেছি, হয়তো সেই শেলফেই আমার কিছুটা র মিট রয়েছে, তো আমি সেখান থেকে ফ্রুটটা বের করে না ওয়াশ করে খেয়ে নেব না। তো এগুলো যদি একটু ফলো করা যায় তাহলে ফুড বর্ন বাই ক্রস কন্টামিনেশনটাকে আমরা আটকাতে পারি। এটা হচ্ছে কিচেন হাইজিনটাকে মেনটেন করতে হবে। এন্ড ইন দা মেন টাইম আমরা অনেক সময় লেটুস এখন প্রচুর মার্কেটে পাওয়া যায় এবং প্রচুর অ্যাভেলেবল। তো আমরা লেটুস তো ওইরকম পাতা ওটা তো সবসময় বয়েল করা যায় না, তো ওটাকে আমরা স্যালাডে বা এনি কাইন্ড অফ গার্নিশিং আমরা ইউজ করি। তারপর ধনে পাতা দেওয়া যেতে পারে, তো সেগুলো সবসময় আমরা কুক নাও করতে পারি। তো র যখন কনজিউম হচ্ছে, আপনি যেটা একটু আগে বললেন যে প্রপারলি একটু লিউক ওয়ার্ম ওয়াটারে ওয়াশ করে বা একটু খাবার সোডা দিয়ে ভিজিয়ে রেখে তারপর সেটাকে ইউজ করতে, এটা সব থেকে ভালো হয় যদি র কনজিউম করতে হয় তবে। আর আদারওয়াইজ কিচেন হাইজিনটা মেনটেন করলে অনেকটাই ক্রস কন্টামিনেশন বা এই জাতীয় জিনিসগুলোকে অ্যাভয়েড করা যায়। আর যেই ক্ষেত্রে আমরা অ্যাভয়েড করতে পারছি না, লাইক অ্যাপেল স্কিন বা এনি কাইন্ড অফ স্কিন লাইক দ্যাট, সেক্ষেত্রে উইদাউট স্কিন খাওয়া যেতে পারে। ফ্রুটস তো আমরা মেনলি কুক করি না, ওটা তো পুরোটাই রই খাওয়া হয় মোস্ট অফ দ্য টাইম। তো সেক্ষেত্রে এটা একটা হোল পার্ট আমি ধরে নিতে পারি, একটা ফুড গ্রুপ অলমোস্ট র কনজিউম হচ্ছে। তো সেক্ষেত্রে শাক পাতা বা সবজি সবসময় র না খেলেও চলবে, বিকজ আমরা স্যালাডে গাজর
In
ইউজ
the
করতে
case of
পারি।
sprouts
লাইক
also we can have raw,
we can
because
have raw, we
have
can
raw sprouts,
slightly boil also, তাতে আমাদের
slightly boil also,
ডাইজেস্টিবিলিটিটা একটু বেড়ে যায়। হ্যাঁ,
বেড়ে
মানে
যায়।
ইজিলি ডাইজেস্টেড হয়ে যায়, তাতে ফ্লাটুলেন্সের প্রবলেম যাদের আছে তাদের সেটাতে সমস্যা হবে না। ইন দ্য মিন টাইম আয়রনটা ইনট্যাক্টই থাকে, শুধুমাত্র ফ্রেশ লেমন জুসটা যেন লাস্টে মেশানো হয়, তো হিটে ভিটামিন সিটা ওয়েস্ট হয়ে যেতে পারে। তো এই
আচ্ছা,
একটু ছোট ছোট জিনিসগুলো
we'll
মাথায়
come to
রাখতে হবে।
Debolina, but before that Shilpa Mondol have a question for Pritha. হিডেন হাঙ্গার কিভাবে আমরা ওভারকাম করতে পারি?
Okay.
How we can overcome hidden hunger?
Yes. So hidden hunger basically is, as I told, hidden hunger basically হচ্ছে micronutrient deficiency. So the first step that we can take to overcome hidden hunger is diversify our diets. Locally available fruits and vegetables are a very rich source of micronutrients, and geographically আমাদের locally available যে fruits and vegetables গুলো হচ্ছে সেগুলোকে consume করা খুবই beneficial হয়। Then second is, if we keep a check on the cooking methods, boiling, steaming, blanching, এইসব মেথড গুলো যেটাতে হিটের সাথে ফুড প্রোডাক্টস গুলো একটু কম এক্সপোজ হচ্ছে, তাহলে নিউট্রিয়েন্ট কন্টেন্টটা রিস্টোরড থাকে। Do not overcook the food for extra flavor or anything to restore the nutritional status. Then we can go for fortified food items which are fortified with micronutrients like fat soluble vitamins and iodine, etc. Then and vitamin B complex, etc. And then we can go for kitchen gardening, যেটাতে আমরা কিছু কোনো অল্টারেশন বা কোনো ওটাতে পেস্টিসাইডস অবভিয়াসলি আমরা ইউজ করছি, বাট ওটাতে কোনো অ্যাডাল্টারেশন নেই। আমরা যদি কিচেন গার্ডেনিং
In the kitchen garden we may not use pesticides, na? From the bioavailable manure.
Only organic something I think use হয়, organic sir,
Organic.
Exactly.
Cow dung cakes,
So which is good also, organic জিনিসগুলো তো which is good না?
Yes, Lisa.
Yes.
So,
তো অ্যাডাল্টারেশনের রেটটা খুব কম থাকে যদি আমরা কিচেন গার্ডেনিং এর ফুড প্রোডাক্টস গুলো নিজেরা কনজিউম করি। তো অ্যান্ড অলসো উই ক্যান গো ফর দ্য মাই প্লেট। ইউএসডিএ গভর্নমেন্টের একটা মাই প্লেট আছে যেটা আমরা সবাই পড়েছি, আমরা ওটা ইউজ করতে পারি টু ব্যালেন্স দ্য ফুড গ্রুপস। কোনোটা কম কোনোটা বেশি হয়ে যাচ্ছে না, ফুড গ্রুপস গুলোকে ভালো করে মেনটেন করে যদি আমরা ডায়েটটাকে কনজিউম করি, দেন আই এম শিওর দ্য হিডেন হাঙ্গার ক্যান বি ইরাডিকেটেড। দ্যাটস Thank you.
that is the micronutrient deficiency mainly. So again we have a guest from Bangladesh, Mr. Ahmed. আপনাকে অনেক স্বাগত। আপনার প্রশ্নটা যদি আমাদের বলেন। বা কোনো ফিডব্যাক বোধহয় আপনি রেজ হ্যান্ড করেছেন।
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Kausar Ahmed from Bangladesh. Sir, I was everyone. This session is very good, informative. I am very happy to joining this platform. Now I want to questions: how do you improve food diversity in our cooking method? And most of the people in our Bangladesh or Indian cultures, they are living low economics,
Rural area, low economic, yes.
And they are, most of the people are consuming outside food. This is very harmful, we know that. But how to manage these cultures, increasing our nutritional foods, and this is helpful in our body. And there are a lot of risks increasing fatty liver disease and carcinosis, cancer, and day by day increasing. Please give suggestion how to improve this food diversity and localization and rural area. Thank you so much.
Polomi, if you want to take this question.
Yes, sir.
Switch on your
Definitely.
video.
Yes, sir. Okay, so what we can do is, see, there is a budget being the problem. So we see those people have fields, or they can grow their own crops in their own houses. For example, a guava tree, they can easily grow at their own house. They can go for it and they can easily avail guava from their own field only. Even you can diversify.
Even you can see some green leafy vegetables in a small area they can grow. Ekটু শাক যেগুলো সেগুলোকে করতে পারে।
Definitely. Even not going for a carbohydrate based diet, what we generally see is those people going for rice or maybe chapati with like aloo seddho or aloo bhaja, like definitely going for a carbohydrate based food. So we can say them to have another food groups too. Like your dal, they can have dal with some sabji, they can have it, or in dal only they can add different vegetables like your lauki, they can add, or they can add any other form of like a tomato they can add, or even if they can actually they can have egg in the
very low cost, high biological value protein.
Very low.
I want to say very low cost and high biological value.
At least
so,
1 day a week they can have
why one, or at least one or two
wise. Affordable for them. That's
so then they can for the children also, they can give it to the children, growing children, and the women. And very low cost protein, that is soybean, can be used, and which is a very high biological value protein. So without like giving the fish, chicken or mutton or ghost, they can use this kind of low budget high quality protein. And what Polomi was saying,
even they can go for your milk based products like your chena, that they can easily make at their own house only, because they might have cows in their home. So from there they can have milk, and after that they can make their own curd, or they can make chena and they can make a sabzi from it, and they can have it in their own diet. So they have an option, but we have to make them realize how they can actually import it in their whole day.
Yes, they have options, but they have lack of awareness. So in the countries, South Asian countries like Bangladesh or India, we have a very lack of awareness in the rural population, and the lack of awareness is also in the urban population, in the like sophisticated group of people, high income group. So it is very dangerous for us. So Mahfuza kichu bolte
I want to add something. Sir, they can go for one dish meal also in lunch or in dinner. They don't have to go for chapati, dal, sabji on different items in their diet. They can have a single one dish meal where they can include rice, dal, and everything, and they can make it, which is healthier option.
Why we are saying about the amino acid in khichdi? Khichdi, we are giving all the combinations of amino acid and protein
and lysine from the cereals and the pulses.
That's why we are telling it is in the ICDS project also, khichdi is being served to the populations with one egg. So it is, and Pooja was saying about the one pot meal. একটার মধ্যে সবকিছু থাকলো, অনেক ঝামেলা করলো। এখন হাই ক্লাস সোসাইটির মধ্যে অনেক স্মুদি বানানোর চল এসছে। So adding some curd and oats and nuts and seeds,
banana or fruits,
so you can have pre and probiotics. So banana is prebiotic and curd is probiotic, and you can have digestive fibers like soluble fibers in oats. You can have some omega-3 like seeds, and you can have some nuts, and you can just blend without giving sugar. You can add some honey also, and it will be a heavy meal and with very much nutritious. So next question, before going to Mahfuzaর মতামতটা নেব, একটু দেবলীনাকে বলবো আনমিউট করে। the question goes to Lisa. দেবলীনার দুটো কোশ্চেন ছিল, দেবলীনা একটু কোশ্চেনটা করে নাও, তোমার কোশ্চেনটা। দেবলীনা বিশ্বাস।
হ্যাঁ স্যার, আমি আনসার পেয়ে গেছি। আমাকে সুপর্ণা
কোশ্চেনটা আমরা সবাই একটু যদি জানতে পারি।
আচ্ছা, একটা ছিল স্যার প্লাস্টিক
হ্যাঁ
প্লাস্টিক ইউটেন্সিল যে আমরা ইউজ করি তো সেটা থেকে কি কি মানে এফেক্ট করতে পারে যার জন্য পিসিওডি প্রবলেম এবং ক্যান্সার এগুলো হতে পারে?
গুড।
ওটা সাইড এফেক্টস। আর একটা কোশ্চেন ছিল স্যার ওই এক মিনিট স্যার কোনো খাবার ওই রান্না করে মানে কতক্ষণ পর অবধি খাওয়া যেতে পারে, আর ওটা যখন স্টোর করা হয় আমাদের অনেকের বাড়িতে এই যে এক্সট্রা হয়ে গেছে বা এক্সট্রা রান্না করা হয়েছে সেটা ফ্রিজে স্টোর করা হয়, সেটা কতটা মানে খারাপ মানে আমাদের জন্য শরীরের পক্ষে সেটা জানার ছিল।
ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ। তো সুপর্ণা জাস্ট প্রথমটা যদি একটু ছোট করে আনসার করে দাও, প্লাস্টিক্স, আর লিসাও করতে পারে, বা সুপর্ণা যেহেতু আনসার করেছে, লেট সুপর্ণা আনসার।
Yes, sir. Plastic wares, until or unless it is BPA free, it emits the BPA and other some chemicals. I couldn't recall the names right now, which can contribute in pathogenesis and progression of PCOS, as well as progression of cancers also. Certain types of
These are all
cancers.
carcinogenic. Yes.
Yes, sir. So that's why we should not use plasticware for storing or microwaving our foods. And while carrying the water in the bottle, make sure the bottle is BPA free, and make it sure that you change the bottle once in a year at least.
And there is a concept in our households. In the commonly you are using the cold drinks bottle or the mineral water bottle we are reusing. Even I find in a very sophisticated in a very sophisticated pediatrician chamber in Damdam, I find that all the discarded bottles, means mineral water bottles, are being used for the patients, those who are in the sitting area,
actually
for storing the water. Yes. But this bottle have a shelf life, so the expiry date which is written in the mineral water bottle, eta kintu joler expiry date na. This expiry date is the expiry date of the bottle, but after the expiry date also we are using the same low quality bottles of the cold drinks or the bottles which are for the mineral water. So just crush it and throw it out and dispose in a safer place, because and we have to, one thing we have to stop, which is the Sikkim government or many government has stopped about the use of the thin plastics for shobjir bazare jan to bag niye jan, foler bazare jan to bag niye jan, and stop using this plastic so we can save the earth. Yes. And now questions from Mahfuza.
Sir, I would like to add something to the PCOS point.
Just মাহফুজাটা নিয়ে আমি পৃথার কাছে আসছি, বলুন মাহফুজা।
স্যার থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার। আমি জাস্ট একটু অ্যাড করতে চাচ্ছি যে ফুড ডাইভার্সিফিকেশনের কথা যে আসছে, এখানে শুধু কিচেন গার্ডেনিং এর কথা আসছে, যেটা হয়তো বা আমাদের জন্য সবার পক্ষে সম্ভব না, লো ক্লাস বা যাদের গ্রামে বাড়ি আছে বা তো আমাদের মতো যারা হচ্ছে বিশেষ করে যারা ফ্ল্যাটে থাকে বা এদের ক্ষেত্রে আমরা এই সাজেশনটা কি স্যার দিতে পারি যে হচ্ছে ব্যালকনি গার্ডেনিং বা ছাদ গার্ডেনিং?
হ্যাঁ, ওটা তো বললো পৃথা, কিচেন গার্ডেনিং এর মতোই ব্যালকনি গার্ডেনিং তো করতেই পারি।
এখন তো অনেক হ্যাঙ্গিং টুলস পাওয়া যায় যেগুলো আমরা গ্রিলে বা একটা ছোট জায়গাতে হ্যাং করে
আমি তো করি, চিলি, ধনেপাতা, টমেটো, ব্রিঞ্জাল। So when this at the end of the day এটা অনেক স্পেস
আমাদের বাসার ছাদে লাউ
মাইক্রোগ্রিনস হয় যেগুলোকে আমরা কেটে স্যালাডের মধ্যে ইউজ করতে পারি, সো এটা র খাওয়া যেতে পারে যদি একটু ভালো করে ওয়াশ করে।
Even লাউ, মূলো, গাজর, these types of vegetables can be grown seam easily, and it will reduce your stress also.
Yes.
So
very nice.
Suparna, keep a watch in the chat box. Joyita Chatterjee has a question. So if you can read the questions, or Joyita, if you can unmute and read the questions, so then our panelist can answer it.
She is asking that chia seed kon food e daily basis e add kora jete pare.
Acha. So who want to take the answer, other question, or I will just add some point with the chia seeds? Yes, Lisa, please. Thank you. Lisa, please unmute and about the saying about the benefits of the chia seeds or salvia. It is actually salvia. It is a kind of plants which resembles with tulsi. Yes, go on, go forward.
Actually sir, এটার মধ্যে না অনেক নিউট্রিটিভ ভ্যালু থাকে, ঠিক আছে। চিয়া সিডস এখন এই মুহূর্তে দাঁড়িয়ে প্রচন্ড ফেমাস হয়েছে। উই ইউজ টু অ্যাড লট লাইক চিয়া সিডস না আমরা প্রচুর স্মুদিতে ইউজ করি। আর একটা মানে এখন নতুন একটা ট্রেন্ড যে চিয়া সিডস ইজ ভেরি গুড ফর ওয়েট লস। তো নর্মালি কি হয়, একটা বেসিক আইডিয়া আমি জাস্ট দিতে চাই সবাইকে। চিয়া সিডস যখন আমরা জলে ভিজিয়ে রাখি না, বা হয়তো ওই সাবজা সিডস যেটা আমরা ওই কুলফিতে ইউজ করি, এটা জলে ভিজিয়ে রাখলে না এটা ফুলে যায়। সো দ্য মেইন কনসেপ্ট ইজ, মানে এইটা আমি বলছি না এটাই কারণ, বাট দিস মাইট বি ওয়ান রিজন, whenever you are adding this chia seeds for about 20 to 15 minutes and like you are soaking it in water, ওটা ফুলে যাচ্ছে, যখন ওটা পেটে যাচ্ছে with some smoothie, ওটা satiety ভ্যালুটা আরো ইনক্রিজ করছে। তো অ্যাজ এ রেজাল্ট অফ which অনেকক্ষণ আমরা না খেয়ে থাকতে পারছি, মানে একটা স্মুদি খাওয়ার পর আমাদের পেটটা অনেকক্ষণ ভরা থাকে। সো দিস ইজ ওয়ান অফ দ্য মোস্ট ইম্পর্টেন্ট রিজন যার জন্য আমরা চিয়া সিডস ইউজ করে থাকি। তাছাড়া চিয়া সিডস তো অবভিয়াসলি মানে একটা ফাইবার থাকে ওর মধ্যে, সিডস এর ভ্যালু থাকে, এসেনশিয়াল ফ্যাটি অ্যাসিডস থাকে। সো এবার কোয়েশ্চেনটা ছিল কোথায় কোথায় ইউজ করা যায়। ইউ ক্যান ইউজ এজ আ চিয়া সিডস পুডিং, ইউ ক্যান ইউজ উইথ ওটস অ্যান্ড মিল্ক, এনিথিং লিকুইড এর মধ্যে যদি সোপ করে আমি চিয়া সিডস ইউজ করতে পারি, টেস্টি যেমন হয় এবং ওটা যে বললাম স্যাটাইটি ভ্যালু ফুল করে, আমাদের পেটটা অনেকক্ষণ ভরা থাকে। সো বেস্ট ইউজেস যদি বলা হয় তাহলে আমি বলবো যে মর্নিং ব্রেকফাস্টে আমরা we can use chia seeds.
So the studies are saying that salvia seeds, thank you so much Lisa, very nicely explained. Salvia seeds contain about the twice as much fiber as the bran. So আমাদের ফাইবারটাতেও পাচ্ছি, ভেজিটেবলস এবং লিগিউমস এবং আলমন্ডস এর থেকে অনেক বেশি ফাইবার। And if you can see the American Diabetes Association guideline, if it is having many clinical studies, and what she has explained, our speaker like Pritha, she has explained about the soaking. So flax seeds need soaking, or sesame seeds need no soaking, but chia seed ke at least 20 to 30 minutes you need to soak, and this is the best times to take before food for the centrally obese patient or for the diabetes patient. So it will reduce your hunger cravings, খিদেটা কমিয়ে যাবে, পোস্ট প্র্যান্ডিয়াল ব্লাড গ্লুকোজটা ভীষণ ভালো কন্ট্রোল করে। সো 10 gram of 2 teaspoon of chia seeds can increase the insulin sensitivity and the insoluble dietary fibers, and as well as if you see about the chia seeds, that is EPA, DHA and all the omega-3s are high as compared to the flax seeds or other fish oils. And if you compare about the fiber also, fiber is high in the chia seeds, and the omega-3 is also very high in this respect. So I hope madam you got your answer about the chia seed and when to take chia seeds. So it is very good if the patient can afford and it is not so costly. So chia seeds can be given for the obese, diabetes, PCOS patients. Yes, Pritha wants to add something in that respect. I invite Pritha, and we will encourage the question should be in upfront question, not in the chat box. You can unmute, so we will have a discussion and understand better. Yes, Pritha.
I just wanted to add a point to the BPA question. BPA or bisphenol A, it encourages theca cells in the ovary to release more androgen, and PCOS or PCOD, as we all know, is a condition where the androgen hormone content is very high. So BPA promotes androgen production. So yeah, plastic usage can cause PCOD and PCOS. So that this is what I wanted to add, sir.
Very important point. Hope you got your points. So any more questions? Chinmoy, do you have any questions? In a hectic schedules, we are staying alone and cook the foods and hectic schedules, how we'll manage the full day meal? I think if you are in the presentation, Chinmoy, it is very nicely explained by Pooja Dinda. So we will provide you the video. You can go through the video. So in the hectic day, how to manage our meal, Pooja has nicely explained. Yes, Shilpa Mondol, if you can say anything.
মাইক্রোনিউট্রিয়েন্টস নিয়ে যখন কথা হচ্ছিল, মানে আমার একটা কোয়েশ্চেন, যে সুপার ফুড সম্পর্কে আমরা ইদানিং দেখেছি বিভিন্ন জায়গাতে ডায়েটেতে সুপার ফুড বিষয়টা, এই ব্যাপারটা স্যার যদি একটু কিছু বলেন যে সুপার ফুড কি বা কোন টাইমে আমরা ইউজ করতে পারি এই বিষয়টা।
Again, Lisa is willing to answer, then I will add some point. Yes, Lisa. Just switch on your video. Yeah, thank you.
আচ্ছা, নরমালি সুপার ফ্রুটস যেমন কি আমি একটা বলছি মাইক্রো
fruits,
ফ্রুটস রাইট?
No, she is
Talking
telling
about
about
fruits.
fruits, not super food.
সুপার ফুড
Food,
ফুড
food.
আচ্ছা স্যার আমি একটা কথা বলি সুপার ফুডটা যেটা নর্মালি থাকে যত মাইক্রোনিউট্রিয়েন্টস রিলেটেড বলছে তার জন্য একটা ছোট্ট জিনিস জাস্ট অ্যাড করতে চাই এই যে বেরিজ বা যেটা আমি একদম ফার্স্ট ইন্ট্রোডাকশনে বলছিলাম না বেরিজ দিজ আর দ্য ভেরি গুড সোর্সেস অফ অ্যান্টি অক্সিডেন্টস তো এটা একটা এক্সাম্পল হয় সুপার ফুডের মানে ইটস আ ফ্রুট আই আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড বাট এটা একটা গুড এক্সাম্পল হয় So antioxidants
I
are
just
important.
want to interrupt, Shilpa. Are you saying about the functional foods, like whatever we are saying that functional food may be any seeds, functional food may be any spices, functional food may be any berries, but superfood may be the food which are having commercially prepared, like for example, say milk is packet milk is a superfood when it is added with vitamin D, vitamin A, or calcium, added calciums. Or if you are saying about the commercially available bread, which is having the added fibers, 7-mast bread, which is having different types of fibers. তো শিল্পা যদি একটু ক্লিয়ার করে বলো যে সুপারফুড মানে তুমি কোন ক্যাটাগরিকে মিন করতে চাইছো?
না না স্যার ন্যাচারালি অ্যাভেলেবেল যে সমস্ত জিনিসগুলো মানে আমি এটা একটা জার্নালে পড়েছিলাম পুরো বিষয়টা আমারও মনে নেই যে মাইক্রোনিউট্রিয়েন্ট সুপারফুডস এই জিনিসগুলো কনজিউম এগুলো অ্যান্টিঅক্সিডেন্ট থাকে বা এই বিষয়গুলো মানে ন্যাচারালি অ্যাভেলেবেল যেগুলো
Then
কমার্শিয়াল
Lisa
যেগুলো
is right. Then Lisa is going to the right way, right track. Lisa, you can continue. Like whatever you are
So-
saying, it is whatever she is asking, you are giving the right answer. Yes.
So superfoods, like what I can say is you can go for the like antioxidant rich berries. Different fruits also contain a lot of micronutrients. Like you have just now you said ki there is an interaction you have already like studied. I have seen in our journal. তো ওই লাইক মাইক্রোনিউট্রিয়েন্টস এবং ওই অ্যান্টিঅক্সিডেন্ট বেস খুব ভালোভাবে ওই মানে সমস্ত বেরিজে পাওয়া যায় সেটা জাম হোক রাসবেরি তো যথেষ্ট মানে এক্সপেন্সিভ হয় বাট নর্মালি যেগুলো বিশেষ করে আমলাতে থাকে তারপরে ইউ ক্যান গো ফর লাইক জাম ইউ ক্যান গো ফর ক্র্যানবেরিও পাওয়া যায় এখন ইজিলি অ্যাভেলেবল ক্র্যানবেরিও থাকে তো এগুলো দিজ আর সাম সুপার ফুড মানে ফাংশনাল লাইক গুড অ্যামাউন্ট অফ অ্যান্টিঅক্সিডেন্টস থাকে আমি সেটাই বলতে চাইছিলাম স্যার
Thank
স্যার
you.
আমি একটু অ্যাড করব
Yes.
অ্যাকচুয়ালি সুপারফুড বলতে শুধু মাইক্রোনিউট্রিয়েন্ট বা ফাংশনালটাই নয় সাথে আরো কিছু এক্সট্রা বেনিফিটসও থাকে দ্যাট ইজ ওয়াই দে আর কল্ড সুপারফুডস ফর এক্সাম্পল বেরিজ আর ভেরি গুড এক্সাম্পলস they are low in calorie, they are high in fibers, high in other micronutrients and antioxidants. And like that, we have grapefruit, which is called batabi in Bengali. So it has very, very nutritional benefits, low glycemic index, high fiber, low calorie, good for diabetic patients, good for skin, hair, good for glycemic controls. It is very helpful, but we should cautiously choose the food and timing of taking of the food. Like grapefruit has many side effects while taking with many drugs or anything like that. So when we
Drug-nutrient
eat any
interaction.
grapefruit juice or berry juice or any kind of cranberry supplementation or anything like that, if we take such things we should like divide the timing while we are taking any sort of medications and those kind of superfoods, because they contain that many nutrients in them, so they might interact with some drugs which can be detrimental. So we should cautiously choose the timing of also
And
taking the
also with
superfood.
the
and also the
complications.
patient also right sir
Patient,
like
right,
if,
right.
Along with their
if someone is
complications.
suffering from some certain disease also
Some
we
GI
cannot
problem is
add.
there or something
Yes.
problem is
Yes.
there. So early morning also fruits can be given. Fruits can be given 1 hour after food also, but not with along with the cereals. Fruit should not be served along with the cereals. It is better
Yes.
to give a 1 hour gap in the superfoods.
Sir,
Sorry, in the food.
sir, I can add it something.
Recently in a class we
হ্যাঁ,
can
হ্যাঁ।
we learn
আহমেদ স্যার
something
কিছু
like
অ্যাড করতে
Yes.
চাইছেন? হ্যাঁ, বলুন।
স্যার সুপারফুড যেটা ওই লিসা আপু যেটা বললো এটাও ঠিক আছে স্যার। আরেকটা হলো যে আমরা বেরিজটা খুবই ইম্পর্টেন্ট। আর আমাদের সুপারফুডের মধ্যে আমরা সাধারণত খাবারের 1 ঘন্টা পরে বা 50 মিনিট পরে যদি আমরা খাবারটা ইনটেক করি তাহলে এটা সবচেয়ে ভালো। আর এটা তো বেরি তো আছেই, এটার মধ্যে ভিটামিন সি সবকিছু আছে। তার মধ্যে যে ডার্ক গ্রিন যে লিফি ভেজিটেবল যেগুলো আছে
Dark
এগুলোকে
green.
আমরা সাধারণত সুপারফুড হিসাবে ইউজ করতে পারি। নাটস এবং সিডটা সেটাও আমাদের সুপারফুডের মধ্যে পড়ে। তারপর আমাদের বিনস এবং লিগুমসটা সেটাও আমাদের সুপারফুডের মধ্যে পড়ে। আর তো আমরা সুপারফুডটা আসলে পার্সন ভিত্তিক নির্ভর করে যে আমার ওই পার্সনের অন্য কোনো ডিজিজ আছে কিনা তার জন্য কোনটা হিসাবে করতে পারি। তার সবচেয়ে রসুনটা গার্লিকটা একটা সুপারফুড হিসাবে ব্যবহৃত হয়। আর আমরা যেহেতু গার্লিকটা সব ধরনের তরকারিতে বা রান্নার ক্ষেত্রে ব্যবহার করতে পারি, এটা খুব ভালো একটা সুপারফুড ইউজ করে এবং সব লেভেলের ইনকাম, লো ইনকাম, হাই লেভেল সবাই ইউজ করে, ওগুলো আমরা ইউজ করতে পারি। থ্যাংক ইউ।
অনেক ধন্যবাদ আপনাকে।
Thank you, sir. Very valuable points.
And also আমাদের সৌভিক আনসার করেছেন আবার দ্য পামকিন, এটা দেখতে গেলে খুব ইম্পর্টেন্ট একটা পয়েন্ট। পামকিন তো ইটসেলফ ইজ ক্যারোটিন রিচ এন্ড ইট ইজ হ্যাভ লট অফ অ্যান্টিঅক্সিডেন্ট, বাট অ্যাপার্ট ফ্রম দ্যাট দ্য পামকিন সিডস, যখনই তোমরা মিষ্টি কুমড়োর ফালিটা কিনছেন তখন আমরা বীজটাকে, সিডসটাকে ফেলে দিচ্ছি। বাট আমার বাড়িতে অবশ্য ছোট থেকে দেখে আসছি দা সিডসটাকে আলাদা করে আনা হতো এবং সিডসটাকে ছাড়িয়ে আমার মাই গ্র্যান্ডমাদার ইউজ টু ফ্রাই দেম ইন এন্ড ইউজ টু গিভ ইট টু আস। তো ইভেন দেখা যাচ্ছে যে পামকিন সিডসটাকে কিন্তু সুপার মার্কেটে হাই কস্টে বিক্রি করা হচ্ছে, ওয়ারাজ আমরা যখন মিষ্টি কুমড়ো কিনে আনছি আমরা পামকিন সিডকে থ্রো আউট করছি। তো ইট ইজ অলসো সুপারফুড। সো সুপারফুড, থ্যাংক ইউ শিল্পা ফর দিস কোশ্চেন। সো সুপারফুড আমাদের চারিদিকেই ছড়িয়ে আছে। অল ফুড আর ফাংশনাল ফুড, রাইট ডোজ রাইট অ্যামাউন্টে আমাদের নিতে হবে, দেন উই উইল গেট দিস থিংস। সো আমরা আর হয়তো 7-8 মিনিটে কনক্লুড করব সেশনটা। তো দেবলীনা বিশ্বাস যদি কোনো কোশ্চেন থাকে দেন আচ্ছা, বা আরো কারো যদি কোনো কোশ্চেন থাকে, পূজা, ইফ ইউ ক্যান সি এনি কোশ্চেন ইন দ্য চ্যাট বক্স, সো পূজা ইউ ক্যান।
স্যার আমি একটা কোশ্চেন করতে চাই আরেকটা।
বলুন
স্যার, হচ্ছে ডায়াবেটিক পেশেন্ট যাদের হচ্ছে হাইপো টেন্ডেন্সি থাকে তাদের ক্ষেত্রে এই যে চিয়া সিডস বা ফ্ল্যাক্স সিডস এগুলো ইউজ করার ক্ষেত্রে কি কোনো সচেতনতা অবলম্বন করতে হবে, বা যেহেতু এগুলো গ্লুকোজ লেভেলটা হচ্ছে কন্ট্রোল করে অনেকটা?
কোশ্চেনটা হয়তো আমি একটু মিস করে গেলাম। সুপর্ণা, হোয়াট ইজ দ্য কোশ্চেন?
Yes sir, her question is, স্যার বাংলায় বলছি। ও জিজ্ঞেস করলেন যে আমাদের গ্লাইসেমিক, যাদের পেশেন্টদের হাইপোগ্লাইসেমিয়া টেন্ডেন্সি থাকে তাদের ক্ষেত্রে চিয়া সিড, ফ্ল্যাক্স সিড বা সিডস যেগুলো, এগুলো ইউজ করার ব্যাপারে কি কোনো কশাস ফলো করতে হবে যাতে তাদের
হাইপোগ্লাইসেমিয়া চান্স খুবই কম থাকবে পেশেন্টদের, বিকজ এটা স্লো রিলিজ অফ কার্বোহাইড্রেট করবে এবং এর অ্যাবজর্পশনটা স্লো করে দেবে। তোমার মানে যদি কোনো কার্বোহাইড্রেট রিচ খাওয়ার আগে তুমি খাচ্ছ, ভাত খাওয়ার আগে চিয়া সিডস নিচ্ছ, দইয়ের সাথে একটু স্যালাডস নিচ্ছ, দেন ভাত খেতে বসছো, তো ভাতের অ্যাবজর্পশনটা স্লো করার জন্য কি হবে, হাইপোর চান্সটাও কম হবে, পিপিটাও কম থাকবে। এবার কোনো পেশেন্টের হয়তো হাইপো টেন্ডেন্সি আছে, প্রায় অসুস্থ হচ্ছে, তো আমরা সবসময় বলি বাড়িতে গ্লুকোমিটার রেখে চেক করার জন্য, এবং মানে সবসময় 70-80 এরকম থাকছে, তখন একটু কশাস থাকতে হবে। বাট চিয়া সিডে হাইপোগ্লাইসেমিয়া চান্স খুবই কম, লজিক্যালি ইফ ইউ থিংক। ওকে, সো
স্যার পায়েল বণিকের একটি প্রশ্ন আছে যে ক্যান্সার আর অঙ্কো পেশেন্টসদের ক্ষেত্রে আমাদের র ফ্রুটস, ভেজিটেবলস বন্ধ থাকে, সো কোনো রিলেশন আছে কি?
এটা কি
নিউট্রোপেনিক ডায়েটের
নিউট্রোপেনিক ডায়েটের এখন আর কোনো রিলেশন নেই, স্টাডিজ বলছে এটা সত্যি। আমরা নিউট্রোপেনিক ডায়েট নিয়ে অনেক করেছি, রিসেন্ট স্টাডিজ এবং রিসেন্ট যারা সিনিয়র নিউট্রিশনিস্ট বা ডায়েটিশিয়ান আমাদের ক্যান্সার হসপিটালগুলোতে আছেন ওনাদেরও মতামত আমরা নিয়েছি। তো সেইভাবে কোনো রিলেশন এখন আর
অত স্ট্রিক্ট রিলেশন করা হয় না এখন,
রিলেশন আর বলা হচ্ছে
মানে হাইজিন মেইনটেইন করে দেওয়া হয়। একটু গরম জলে বলা হয় যে ফ্রুটস দিলেও সেটাকে বয়লিং ওয়াটারে ধুয়ে সঙ্গে সঙ্গে কনজিউম করতে বলা হয়, যাতে সেটা কোনোভাবে কন্টামিনেটেড না হয়। আর দই আগে দেওয়া হতো না নিউট্রোপেনিক ডায়েটে, বাট এখন দই দেওয়া হয়। লেমন জুসও এখন যদি ইউজ করা যায়, কন্ট্রাইন্ডিকেশন না থাকে পেশেন্টের, ইন দ্যাট কেস ফ্রেশলি কাট লেমন জুস, ফ্রেশ এন্ড যদি স্টেরিলাইজড ওয়েতে ইউজ করা যায়, দে ক্যান হ্যাভ এভরিথিং।
আর ফ্রুটসটা একটু মোটা খোসার ফ্রুটস খাওয়া বেশি প্রয়োজন। অ্যাকচুয়ালি ব্যাপারটা হয় কি, বডি ইমিউন সিস্টেম কম্প্রোমাইজ হয়ে যায়, এইটাই হচ্ছে মেইন কারণ যার জন্য আগে র ফুডটা আমাদের বা ফ্রুটস গুলো আমরা বারণ করতাম, মানে নরমালি বারণ করে এসেছি। এত বেশি বডি ইমিউনো কম্প্রোমাইজ হয়ে যায় যে বাইরে থেকে যে কোনো জিনিস খেলেই মানে ইজিলি ব্যাকটেরিয়া বা ভাইরাল অ্যাটাক করতে পারে, সেইটা যেন না হয় এই কারণেই আমরা নিউট্রোপেনিক ডায়েট বা এইভাবে রেস্ট্রিকশন করা হতো। তো যখনই ফ্রুটসটা খাওয়া হতো ওর জন্য বলা হয় যে একটু মোটা খোসার ফ্রুটস, সেটা পাইনঅ্যাপেল হোক বা যেগুলো মানে স্কিন সমেত আমরা খাচ্ছি না, ছুলে খাচ্ছি, সেই রকম ফ্রুটস আমরা লাইক বানানা, ইয়েস, তো এই ক্ষেত্রে আমরা দিতে পারি।
সেফটি মেজার্সটা নেওয়া আমাদের নিতে হবে, বাট আদারওয়াইজ ফ্রুটস আমরা খেতে পারবো। এন্ড এটা একটা কি মেসেজ দিতে চাইবো, এবং আপনারা সবাই জানেন আমরা যে কোনো ডিজিজে টোটালি রেস্ট্রিকশন, হ্যাঁ সিভিয়ারলি কোনো কিছু কন্ট্রাডিকশন, ইন্ডিকেশনস বা অ্যালার্জিস থাকলে যে আমার মিল্ক প্রোটিনে অ্যালার্জি সিভিয়ারলি আছে, এক্সেপ্ট ফর দ্যাট আমরা জেনারেল ক্রনিক ডিজিজ লাইক হার্ট ডিজিজ, ডায়াবেটিস অ্যান্ড অল দিস কাইন্ডস অফ disease or hyperuricemia or thyroid, we will not restrict so much of food groups. একটা সময় হয়ে যায় কি রেস্ট্রিক্ট করতে 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 এগেইন আওয়ার টপিক কামস হিয়ার, যে নিউট্রিশন ডেফিসিয়েন্সি হয়ে যায়, ডাইভার্সিফাইড প্লেটস তখন আমাদের কাছে কিন্তু থাকে না। সো ইট ইজ ভেরি ইম্পর্টেন্ট টু হ্যাভ এ ব্যালেন্সড ডায়েট with all everything. And if the people love to eat potato for a diabetes patient, obviously potato can be given. Why not? Because potato is having less calories than rice and GI also less. So if you are give less amount, or in a mixed vegetables you can add, or যদি আলু সিদ্ধই খেতে ইচ্ছা হয়, আমি পেশেন্টকে অনেক সময় বলি যে অনেক সময় ভাতটা কমিয়ে দেওয়া হোক, একদমই কমিয়ে দেওয়া, 1/4 কমিয়ে একটু আলু সিদ্ধ দিই সেদিন, আর অন্য ভেজিটেবলস কম নিলাম এবং তার সাথে একটু দই খেলাম বা ফিশ নিলাম। So anyhow, we have a dietitians, we need to know the art of counseling, we need to know the art of food plate, যেটা পূজা ডিন্ডা বললো, যে সেইভাবে পেশেন্ট যেন কোনোভাবে কম্প্রোমাইজ না হয়, পেশেন্টের যেন আক্ষেপ না থাকে যে ডায়েটিশিয়ানের কাছে যাব মানেই আমার সব খাবার উনি বন্ধ করে দেবেন, ডায়েটিশিয়ানের কাছে যাব মানে আমার আরো দরজা খুলে যাবে, আরো অনেক অপশনস বেড়ে যাবে, এটাই যেন আমরা মনে করি। So with all this, I want to conclude the session. I want request all our speakers to switch on your camera so you can have a snapshots, and also all the audience, if anyone is possible, they can also do. Pooja, if we can have you, so we can. Pooja, are you there? Yes, thank you, Pooja. Shupana also you can take. And any 1 minute, Shupana, sorry, Pooja, just see in front of the camera. Thank you so much. So we conclude the session here, and we give some feedbacks in those who are in the WhatsApp groups or in the Facebook or our page. So give some feedbacks on what new topics we will come up with. And last year our students have given many interesting topics on diabetes, like rheumatoid arthritis, and different new topics they are doing. So your interaction, your participation is very much helpful for us. So good night everyone. Stay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank
you, sir. Thank you,
Stay safe,
everyone.
Stay healthy.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.